What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner TV. There we go. I'm with Juanito. Juanito, can you hear me, Juanito? Man, oh man, Chicago's erupting. Here we are, and
Yeah.
it's getting pretty serious, Juanito, because now they are saying that there's a bounty on the heads of federal agents. 2,000 to kidnap, 10,000 to kill senior Border Patrol officials and senior ICE officials in Chicago. That's cartel warfare. And I've been talking about this for the longest time. And here it is, alive and well in Chicago. Thanks for joining.
Well, and you have to think about who's actually offering that money and what the connections are. You have Soros affiliated groups, you have stuff where they're actually being managed out of China. And those groups have put a target on their heads also. The biggest problem, most of the officers, if you talk to them, they're in a bring it on. You want to play that game? The problem is that there's people around them, and so that bravado can, you know, not protect everybody. And as I said, we talked back about the Portland stuff. Where else do we need to watch? And I says, well, Chicago. Right now, because that is a very well uh, organized series of groups that are working kind of tag team.
So
And
what we're looking at right here, this is all paid funded people. These are all paid protesters, correct?
well, I wouldn't say every last one of them, but certainly a significant number are being paid to be there, and it's being ginned up. Look at the signs. They get pre-printed. 20 of this sign, 50 of that sign. Their T-shirts are handed out. These guys are on the payroll, getting paid to be at these protests. And by the way, if they get arrested, they get a bonus. If they
What? If they get
yep,
arrested, they get a bonus. So they're out there. They
yep.
want to get arrested.
Yeah, because
Wow,
they're
look at that girl's garment she's wearing right there with the rainbow colored American flag. That's so disrespectful, man. Look at that. Do you see that there on the corner there, one?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, um, again, everybody's going to have to pick a side, and that's this kind of a moment. And so there's a lot of people that were kind of riding the fence. They didn't understand necessarily the protesters. They might agree with some aspect of what they're pushing, and then they go beyond. And then people who previously had been maybe a little bit fence riding, they've got to fall to one side hard or the other. I think at the end of the day, if you look at those numbers, those are still relatively small numbers. And a number of them are going to turn out to be illegals.
So why
Um,
doesn't ICE go in there right now before the protests get really going and just start doing sweeps right now
well,
before it can even kick off? Or is that part of the game plan here is to let it get out of control a little bit and then bring in the
well,
enforcements?
you have to, from a legal standpoint, you've got to know that that's one of the people that isn't illegal. They probably do know a bunch of them, and they'll try to round them all up when it's the easiest to get, as many or all of them as possible. So, I'm not going to tell ICE how to do their job. One of the things that's very disturbing is that local police officers, municipal and county police officers, have been told by the mayors and county managers, do not assist ICE in any way. Don't, if they come into the building to bring in somebody to turn them in or whatever, don't let the ICE officers use the restroom. Don't give them a desk to work at. Let them bring their person in, take custody, and get them the hell out of the office. We're not cooperating with ICE. So think about that. LEOs, law enforcement officers, they have kind of a blue line that they all work uh, with each other because there has to be cooperation. But in the case of Chicago's police departments, they've been ordered by people in management positions not to work with or assist ICE. Um, how does that survive? And then if something happens, um, are they going to be there to back up the ICE officers? That same problem out in Portland. So when you talk about just go round them up, the local police are not in there to assist them. You have a large group. So again, you want to see an excuse of need for having to nationalize guard troops. That's it right there.
This is going to get pretty bad, right? In the coming weeks and months. I mean, can we be looking at Trump signing some kind of a insurrection, Juanito?
I don't know that it's an insurrection act, just that he continues to um, uh, bring federal action to control what's going on at the local level, and absolutely justified. It's an invasion, it's terrorist. With the declarations that they're going to pay for kidnap of police officers, um, that's that's going to rally the troops, if
Wow.
you will,
Yeah.
even the police officers against their management.
Wow.
And think about this. Right now you're hearing these numbers, 2,000, 10,000. For even gang members, that's like a non-event. They're going to want more than that. So when you see those numbers climb, probably then it gets more serious. It's kind of a taunting number, I think, if you look at
So
it.
the fact that they're putting bounties on the heads, who are the ones putting the bounties exactly? We know it's the cartels, but are the Democrat politicians involved in this? Obviously, I mean, uh, who's the ones?
Well, I don't think let's be careful. I wouldn't say obviously. I don't
Okay,
think that's
okay.
necessarily true. Um, there's most of the people in the political framework would never agree to that. Even people that I may disagree with on stuff to the moon, they're just not going to agree to that. It politically.
Okay.
So I don't know that that's correct, but that doesn't mean that they've been assertive enough or aggressive enough in acknowledging the threat. They turn around and poo-poo horrible things that these people are doing that build up to something like putting a bounty on police officers' head. And so again, certainly somebody's trying to amp it up. I mean, think about it. If you're one of these groups for real, even the Soros paid stuff and like that, they go out of their way to make it clear that they're for peaceful change, and they would never agree to that. So which groups are doing that? And is it just, really a couple of hotheads doing bullshit and not really any of the real groups? At the end of the day, you got to take it serious. You got to operate accordingly. And you do get a lot of these people that are in these protest groups, they're getting paid. So they get along, go along.
Well,
it's like a wolf pack.
It's not just the kidnapping.
Each other.
It's not just kidnapping and killing them. That you got to remember they torture as well. That's third world stuff. That's the stuff they're doing in Ciudad Juarez. That's what they do in Mexico. So the fact that this is happening in America and they're going after our agents, wow, man, I that's a whole new ball game now. So I'm
Well,
wondering how will Trump respond to this?
remember some of the guys that have been taken out in these types of things, all the way back to 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗃. He was going after the cartels there in Mexico, trying to get information, and then they kidnapped him and tortured and killed him. Reagan closed down the border to Mexico until we got the guys that did it, or most of them. There were still guys, 3 decades later, we were tracking. Our friend Alvarez, who had his partner killed years ago. The Terry family, who lost their son doing border patrol stuff with a gun that was sold to him out of Fast and Furious. Uh, so we've got, plenty of agents that have lost their lives in this fight, but to move it from the border to into the cities, that's a whole different
That's a
level
different.
because
Yeah.
yes, and then to spread around. And of course, as we've talked about, they want to bring that kind of stuff to cities all over the country.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's really a little over a dozen primary cities where these socialist, communist, fascist groups are centered and have the strongest leadership, the strongest infrastructure of
No,
paid
but you've
people.
said that this could hit all the cities in America and then fall back on those particular cities, correct?
Right. That's where I was going, is that they may start trying to do something broader, but they have certain cities where their infrastructure is more built out, tighter, um, and that will eventually push them all back into. And they'll self centralize, which will make it easier for us to go grab them all. And by
And,
the way,
and
the things that they're doing, um, yeah, going after federal officers beyond even the local. If things become federalized, then the charges are federal, and these people don't go away. They get help for if they get arrested, they get money and they get bailed out and legal help and all that. If they get arrested on federal charges, they're not going away for a weekend. They may, in many cases, be going away for 10 or 20 years under federal guidelines with mandatory minimums. And you know, you don't get out way early.
Juan, what about this whole thing with Bad Bunny? He's connecting. They're finding out that he has connections into Venezuela. Bad Bunny's record label, Rimas Entertainment, was founded by Rafael Ricardo Jimenez Dan, a Venezuelan entrepreneur and former captain in the Venezuelan army. He's
Yeah.
even served as vice minister in legal certainty under Hugo Chavez, okay, in 2006, 2007, and is known as Maduro supporter. So they're really going forward with their messaging and their music. They're putting Bad Bunny. He's going to be doing the Super Bowl. He's going to be doing it in Spanish. He's telling all of America to learn Spanish because we're coming. I mean, this is complete, unbelievable, massive propaganda they're pushing out there. How do we put a lid on this? I mean, are we going to let this happen? I mean, I guess
Well,
technically he's not doing anything wrong. But I mean, it is propaganda.
um, NFL. I love the game. Um, I really do. But they have gone so far afield. The owners, um, the league, is going to have to make some decisions about they want to do stuff all over the world and watch Super Bowls watched worldwide. They want to appeal to this large audience, but it's a representation for America. Remember, of course, after we went in the Gulf War and Whitney Houston,
Right.
her amazing rendition of the national anthem. Um, but here's the problem, Nino. Uh, are we actually okay with these half times? Doing rune rituals, occult rituals right there in front of everybody. And, only thinly veiled with these occultic themes. That's been going on for a very long time during these halftime shows. Um, all sorts of bizarreness that the average American, if you actually go and look at what's there in those things, and you can use a search engine, go look at these people that do the analysis of what's in these halftime shows. Um, Very disturbing, actually, and right there in plain sight. But now, for us as Americans, for example, Maduro, we have a $50 million bounty on his head for drug trafficking here in the U.S. The president, Cesar Chavez, literally dismantled Venezuela. The people of Venezuela should be amongst the richest people on the planet per capita, and were with their oil. absolutely fantastic oil reserves, but taken down, used for evil, and you know, uh, they've destroyed the country, starved their own people to death. But with all that wealth, they've gone completely crazy. The Cubans have been running Venezuela for decades, um, uh, and done the same thing to Venezuela as they've done to Cuba. I mean, people are literally starving to death. 80% of the population of Cuba right now is at starvation level, not just poverty, but starvation,
Wow.
in a place where you can grow anything. The government has done that to the people of Cuba, and they're exporting their horror into Venezuela, where the economy is
Well,
completely, totally collapsed. And by the way, we have U.S. troops in Venezuela on the ground going right now to track down Maduro and some of these
wow.
monsters that are moving the
Well,
drugs. You've
Juanito,
seen what we've done. But
yeah, that's, I want to get into that definitely. Let's continue that on 𝗬𝗏𝗠𝗃.tv. I want to know about the special ops that are happening within Venezuela. Are you good to talk about that on .tv, Juanito?
sure, and I just want to close this out though with this one understanding. Certainly, the NFL, who screens the acts that are performed during their halftime extensively, massively. Remember how much they lost of their members when certain of the groups started to do the kneel, uh, bend down on the kneel to show solidarity with different groups. That really offended many Americans.
Yep.
The sport
Oh,
has
this
become
Bad Bunny
highly
one's gonna offend.
politicized.
The Bad Bunny's gonna offend so many more.
Well, and so there's a lot of propaganda out there. By the way, some of the propaganda, saying that he's related to Maduro as one of his, hidden sons, is BS. But the propagandizing goes both ways. But this alignment, by having the Bad Bunny Act included in the Super Bowl, is intended to um, cause controversy, to bring people to watch the halftime that
Yeah.
would otherwise be there, and then the advertisers. I can just tell you that for myself, um, I won't be buying anything that they're advertising in the halftime to promote that, and won't be watching the game. And I love the sport. I love the football. I love everything about it. Live and breathe it. I remember all the way back Monday Night Football,
Yeah, it's
Sunday
changed
Night
now, though.
Football.
It's changed now.
Uh, I I used to just so enjoy
Yeah.
uh, that, hanging out with the guys. But at this point, with the politicization, I just don't have an appetite for it, and I think I'm not at all unique in that.
No, you're not. I
Uh,
don't like to watch it. I watch the games here and there, but I can't stand the propaganda. Juanito, let's continue
yeah.
this on @Nino'sCorner.tv. And folks, go to thejennifermack.com, thejennifermack.com.
Oh yeah. She's got some specials over there. I'll just tell you, look at what's going on with silver. We haven't even got into the best of it yet, so things are moving very hard. And we have to get more coins over there. The mint has gotten us a little bit more here in the last few days, so we're catching up there. But anyway, love
All
you,
right,
bro. All
Juanito. Thank you. See you at .tv.
right, bye.